Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome inside the Ron Ferguson Gymnasium here at Crawford County High School, where tonight a battle of unbeatens in the Patoka Lake Athletic Conference will collide in a pivotal conference matchup. The Senators are hoping to bounce back after Saturday night's loss at New Washington that snapped their 4-game win streak. Meanwhile, the host Wolfpack have won 2 in a row and 4 of their last 5 after beating Perry Central for a 3rd time this season. Tonight, one of these 2 Patoka Lake Athletic Conference powerhouses will leave this floor alone in the driver's seat and in control of the conference with 1 game to go for each squad. And our countdown to the tip starts now. Hello again, everyone. I'm Misty Jones, and joining me for tonight's broadcast of Senator basketball will be my sidekick and broadcast partner, Mr. Philip Bousman. Well, in terms of tonight's conference showdown, it is simple. The winner leaves here a perfect 5-0 with 1 game left on their slate. Crawford, they will have Paoli left at Paoli as their last game of the regular season, and the Senators will have a Valentine's Day meeting with Tom Bradley's Orleans Bulldogs after this. So again, winner take all kind of here tonight, or at least they put themselves in that position with 1 game left apiece in conference play. And if the Senators hope to escape this tough environment with a win, they're going to need a great bounce back after a tough loss on the road Saturday night at New Washington, where they were battle tested. They had that double overtime thriller against North Harrison, where they were able to squeak one out 85-80 on Friday night, but then tired legs and fatigue kind of took over for the Senators, and the Mustangs, wild and untamed from the perimeter, shot the lights out, especially in that first half of play, and in the first quarter alone hit 5 big three-pointers and 12 for the game to put the Senators away 72-62, snapping that 4-game win streak. But all things considered, the Senators continued to battle back and showed their will and their strength coming down the stretch, going 25 versus 26 in the point column against New Washington, trying to keep it close and trying to battle back, but tired legs again and fatigue just seemed to take over. But not for Michael Sizemore, who had 16 of his career-high 31 points in that loss at New Washington on Saturday night, and that was following the performance of Hunter Sanford, who chipped in a career-high 30 in the double overtime win against North Harrison on Friday night in the friendly confines. Coach, you know what this team's like. This is a senior group. They've enjoyed so much success, so much championship basketball, so much championship football over the last couple of years. And the seniors, they're obviously battle-tested. We know that after their run through the month of March last year and their run to a semi-state showdown with Bloomfield. So do you see this being a game here tonight where the Senators have to come in and primarily win this on the defensive end or on the offensive end?
I think you're going to come in and look to win this on the defensive end. When you're in an environment much like this one will be, it's always been tough to play here, and I think you come in and you rely heavily on your defense to create your offense, because defense is something that you can have every night. You can bring your attitude and effort on the defensive end, and in doing that can create the offensive end. Hopefully we shoot the ball really well tonight, but at least if we don't, defense can carry us through that. So it's going to be important to get stops, limit possessions, limit rebound, offensive rebounds for Crawford County. Those are things that if you can limit those things, then that limits the momentum factor as well. So hopefully the defensive end kickstarts our offense.
Well, on the flip side of things, Crawford County, as I said, comes in. They're playing some pretty good basketball. They've won 4 of their last 5. They've won 2 in a row, and that includes beating a good Perry Central team for the 3rd time this season. They played a non-conference matchup, a conference matchup, and then also met in that Tell City holiday tourney. So battle-tested against the Commodores. They get their 3rd win over them in their last outing, and they've won some good games as well. And you think about beating a young but very talented Tell City team with nothing but freshmen and sophomores. They get an impressive win over the Marksmen, and then they beat Tom Bradley's crew in here pretty handily. And people might say, well, wait a minute, hold the phone. Orleans is down this year. It's not a typical Bulldog season. They've only won a couple of ball games, but it becomes a mentality thing. When Orleans is set at the top of the conference for so long, you just wonder how much that wears on your psyche a little bit. And Crawford able to kind of wipe that off the board with their big win. And now it's the Senators' turn to do the same, Coach, because they've lost 7 straight to Crawford County. This is a tough environment. How do they overcome that mental aspect here early?
Well, that mental side's definitely true. You know, you respect the team that's beating you, whether it's at home or on the road, wherever it may be, whether they're up or down. Much like an Orleans team, you respect the coach they have, you respect the tradition and the program they have. So for us, you know, coming here tonight, that's kind of why I lean towards the defensive side. You know, with emotion can really negatively affect the offensive end of the court, maybe boost you on the defensive end. So you know, we've faced some challenges, whether it's in another sport with these guys, you know, being challenged against opponents that we've not had success against in the past and finally overcome that. So these guys, whether it's in football, whether it's in basketball, whatever sport it may be, they have been tested throughout the last 2 seasons, and they've become, you know, been able to overcome a lot of adversity, you know, much like a 7-game losing streak against Crawford County. So hopefully tonight's the night. We got a little, you know, a little reminder of last year's Crawford County game. I would think that one's probably been sitting on these guys' mind ever since last year, and really a lot this week leading up to this game, a game that we a lot of us feel like maybe we let slip away. So hopefully we come back and remember those things and are able to keep focused for 32 minutes.
Well, we'll take a timeout here during our Senator Tip-Off pregame show, as always, to thank you, the fans, for either tuning in or viewing on live stream or doing both here tonight, as well as thanking our great sponsors that make this and every broadcast of Senator basketball possible. And those sponsors include John Jones GM City, bringing you the Senator pregame show activity here from the Ron Ferguson Gymnasium tonight, as well as our halftime sponsor, Eddie Gilstrap Motors, just south of the square in Salem, and our Ace Hardware sponsorship, bringing you all of the Senator post-game show festivities here tonight from the Ron Ferguson Gym, as well as McDonald's on South Main Street, Salem Crossing, and Meadowview Healthcare. We appreciate their sponsorship so very much here on 1220 all season long with the side. We'll take a really quick break here from our pregame show sponsor, John Jones GM City. And when we come back, we'll look at a few pregame notes, and we'll look at tonight's Keys to Victory, brought to you by John Jones. Stick with us. We'll have more in a moment. You're listening to the Senator Tip-Off pregame show here tonight on Salem's 1220.
Looking for your next new or used car? Then head on down and check out the deals at John Jones Auto Group in Salem, Corydon, Scottsburg, and Greenville. Whether you visit the lot and take a test drive or visit the virtual showroom online at johnjonesautogroup.com, you'll find the largest selection of GM cars in Kentuckiana. Whether it's a car, truck, or minivan, John Jones Auto Group has something to fit your style and your budget. Bad credit? No problem. We will find the financing that's right for you. At John Jones, we pride ourselves at finding the right deal for your situation. Call or visit today, 1-800-473-5546, or go online at johnjonesautogroup.com and check us out on Facebook and Twitter too. John Jones Auto Group, the largest dealer in southern Indiana, serving Salem, Corydon, Scottsburg, Greenville. You see so many because they paid so little.
Back here to Crawford County High School, the Wolfpack Den at the Ron Ferguson Gymnasium tonight. The Senators 4-0 in conference play, taking on the host Wolfpack, also coming in with a record of 4-0. Winner is in the driver's seat, with each having one game left in conference play. Coach, series the last 30 years been pretty much dominated by Crawford, 21 games to 10 in favor of the Wolfpack. Again, we said they've won 7 straight. And last year it was that heartbreaker. We kind of gave up, kind of sitting almost in the same position, a chance to maybe make a little noise coming down the stretch, and faltered in that double overtime loss to the Wolfpack 65-62 back on February 4th. Of course, West Washington, as we said, coming off of that 72-62 loss at New Washington on Saturday night. Meanwhile, Crawford defeating Perry for a third time this season, 63-39 in their last outing here at home on Friday. I don't care, whatever. Yeah, that'll work. Anything close to that. Yeah. Water, whatever. Sending Holden to do his football water boy duties here, Coach. I need us a drink, and it's kind of a tight spot to be in. Let's quickly look at our keys to victory brought to you by John Jones GM City. First and foremost, Coach, it's got to be a championship mentality. We talked about it just a moment ago in the opening. These boys have to come out ready to go after the juggler early. Then early offense. Got to get high percentage looks, I think, early. That'll calm maybe some of the nerves, some of the butterflies. And then let that D spark the O. You know, we've been so good at getting out in transition, especially off of that 1-3-1 pressure in the half court. If we can generate some points off of turnovers, we'll be in good shape.
Yeah, I think so. You know, it's going to come down to, you know, the guys just getting into their groove early. And, again, kind of like we talked about in the girls' game, making 32 minutes out of the game and letting it come to them.
Well, our keys to victory tonight brought to you by John Jones GM City. Proud sponsor of the Senators all season long on Salem's 1220. Call the fine folks at John Jones by calling 1-812-883-3081. Check them out on the web at johnjonesautogroup.com, or better yet, check out that beautiful showroom and lot on South State Road 60, 1450 South State Road 60. In fact, just outside of Salem, John Jones GM City. You see so many because they pay so little. We're going to step aside, take a break, and let the national anthem be played. We're going to let you listen to a sponsor, and when we come back, we'll have the John Jones starting lineups and the opening tip. The Wolfpack and Senators set to go at it with conference title hopes on the line here on WSLM.
For tonight's game, it's time to introduce the starting lineup, and the crowd is on their feet and they're going wild. And here comes the new players. We've got the premium quarter pounders coming in tonight, alongside the chicken classic sandwiches. Playing forward tonight, we have got one-of-a-kind McWrap. Guarding your hunger, it looks like we've got McDouble and McChicken coming in. And starting in the center court tonight will be Big Mac. Look on the sidelines, folks. We have Chicken McNuggets cheering tonight alongside those golden delicious fries. Hot and always ready. You'll score points every time you bring the family into Salem McDonald's, right here on Main Street, before or after the game. Don't forget to top off your favorite meal with a cold soft drink, that famous Mickey D sweet tea, or something from their full line of smoothies and McCafe coffee drinks. Order inside from 4 a.m. to 11, or get that one-of-a-kind taste 24 hours at the drive-thru. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Back once again here just outside of downtown Marengo at the Ron Ferguson Gymnasium as the Wolfpack and Senators are set to get it on here tonight in conference play. Big title implications on the line with both teams coming in at the record of 4-0. Let's meet tonight's starters brought to you by John Jones GM City. First for the Wolfpack, 11-6 on the year, 4-0 in the conference. Levi Carmichael in his second season at the helm of the Wolfpack program, taking over for Mike Brown. Before the start of last season, 28-14 in his second season. They average 54.5 and give up 46.5 per game. They'll start a two-guard set. 22, Brent Smith, 6'3" and a senior at 8.2 points per game, along with number 30, Adam Beasley, the team's leading scorer at nearly 11 points per contest. He's 6'3" and a senior as well. Tyrell Nicholson, number 32, starts at the wing spot. The 3, he's a 6'2" senior at 4.5 points per game and nearly 2 boards per contest. Number 40, Josh Thomas, starts at the power forward. He's 6'4" and a senior at 8.1 points per game and nearly 5 boards to help lead the team in that department, as well as number 35, Matt Dearborn, 6'4" and a junior in the middle, 8.7 points per game and nearly 5 rebounds per contest as well for Dearborn. For the Senators, same lineup that we're used to seeing. Senators come in with that 12-4 mark, 4-0 in conference play. Sizemore and Green will start in the backcourt. Sizemore, 6 foot and a senior, 12.1 per game, along with Noah Green at the shooting guard, 6'3" and a senior at 12.7. Peyton Walker, Hunter Sanford, Jackson Burns start across the front. Walker, 6'4" and a senior at 11 points. Hunter Sanford, 6'5" and a senior at 15.2 to lead the team. And the Iceman, new Sycamore on the football team at Indiana State, Jackson Burn, 10.2 per contest. Senators in those road blues trimmed in red and white, red letters and numerals, and those Under Armour uniform threads, and the home white jerseys being worn tonight by the Wolfpack as we're underway. And Crawford County controls things right out of the gate. Shot missed, partially blocked from behind by Hunter Sanford. So a second crack at it already for the Wolfpack here 15 seconds gone by in the opener. Tonight's Indiana High School Athletic Association officials. A little bit different here, Coach. Something happened here with the hiring of these officials. It's only a two-man crew. Mr. Craig Bechtel, who was at the girls sectional, and Tim Stroud, as well as the Wolfpack, get on the board early. Senators come back to work. Underneath, they go to Byrne. Nice feed. Left that shot short. Rebound ping-pongs out to Beasley as he'll bring it up quickly. Into the front court, stops, pivots, gives it off in the high post. Drive to the basket by Thomas won't go. Michael comes out of there with it. Nearly 50 seconds in here to this first quarter of play. They're right on it. Senators looking for their first points of the night as they trail it here early, 2-0. Didn't catch the basket for the 35. That is Matt Dearborn, the center, who scored that first basket of the night. By the way, our JV Senators fell in a tough one. Played a pretty good first half, Coach, but just fell out. Let the bottom fall out of it there in the third quarter especially, and gave up too much space to Crawford. Underneath, turnaround jumper won't go for Hunter Sanford. And a minute and a half in, Senators still without a score on the board. JV, in fact, fell 59-45 underneath. We're going to have a walk. Tim Stroud blows the shot off with the whistle. And it's going to be our first turnover of the night, Coach, to Crawford County. 2-0 here early. Misty Jones alongside of Philip Bausman, Craig Akers on stats and on live stream with the feed tonight. WW Senator Radio on Facebook and Twitter. Little trap out front. Michael bobbled the ball just a little bit. Settles back in as he works the dribble between the circles. Brings it right side to Byrne. Byrne looks for the lob in to Hunter Sanford, who turns, works against the double team, spins, ran out of real estate. Dragged that pivot foot, Coach, on the spin. Turnover number 1 on the night for the Senators. Yeah, they're doing a nice job on their post defense, playing us straight up, not gambling for steals or anything. They got good length underneath there, so they can do that. Once it goes in, we're going to have to look opposite and make the defense rotate a little. Beasley brings it up, works it left side as he's picked up by Hunter. Senators in a little man-to-man nickel defense to start things out here. Nearly 2.5 gone by. Low-scoring affair at 2-0. Again, the Wolfpack averaged 54.5 a game. Senators been on fire as they come up with a steal here into the other end. Michael in traffic, gets the layup to go. First points of the night for the Senators come at the 5:31 mark. And we're tied for the first time at 2 apiece. Missed shot underneath. Byrne with the rebound out long to Peyton, who's going to have it swiped from behind. Will stay with the Senators. 5:23 to play. First substitution of the night up off the bench for Coach Carmichael, and that'll be Gavin Coleman. Coleman checks in as a 5'8 junior, 7.9 per game off the bench, Coach, and nearly 3 rebounds. Good numbers for a role player off the pine. Little flex cut from Peyton. They feed him underneath. He bobbled it, but there to pick it up and put it back in was Noah Green. Michael. So he's got 2 baskets out of the gate and then comes up with another steal in transition. Can't get this one to go, but we'll have a foul. Craig Becker will tell us it'll be the first foul of the night. Good pressure by the Senators in the half court, though they've already forced 3 turnovers. Yeah, on the defensive end, we've scored off 2 transition buckets created from our defense, and then our third one here, we're going to the line. So it's kind of what we talked about, the two possessions where we walked it down and set up an offensive set. We didn't get a lot, but if we can pick up this pace on the defensive end, it'll create, like we talked about earlier, on our offense. So the Senators on a little 5-0 spurt. See if they can pull off a nice little run like the Lady Senators did in their win in the first game of sectional play on Tuesday night at the Doghouse, as Michael cashes in on both, make it a 6-0 run after the Senators took 2.5 minutes to get on the board here early. Crawford settles into the half-court set. Little spread, almost 4-out, 1-in approach, as they're going to let Dearborn work that high post and flash to the block when it goes wing or corner. Beasley goes into the high post, kicks it back out to Coleman. Coleman on the dribble handoff. Right back out front to Nicholson. Nicholson to Beasley, back to Nicholson. Thought about trying to settle into that rhythm we talked about in the pregame and get rid of maybe some of those jitters and get that mindset shoved to the back. Yeah, we've done a nice job contesting it. Taking away the dribble drive, and then on shooters in the lane, standing our ground, but getting, in a position where we get in foul trouble. Nice take again by Michael. Splits 2 more defenders. Aggressive drive to the basket. This will bring up Crawford County foul number 2. First foul of the night was on Brent Smith. we're going to see another substitution check in. Noah Sturgeon will come in, a 5'8 junior at 3.5 per game. We'll also see number 40, Josh Thomas, check back in as well. He's out of frustration. Dearborn comes to the bench and throws the towel away, says no thanks, just needs a breather. Michael hit the first, second one up and good, Coach. He's a 68% shooter on the year.
A little size advantage now, bringing in the two guards with Coleman and Sturgeon.
It's an 8-0 run here for the Senators. Again, it took them 2.5 minutes to even get to the scoring column and break the ice offensively. Ball deflected away. Michael all over it. Nearly goes into that cheer block across the way for Crawford. Nicholson controls out front. Nicholson gives it off to Beasley. Back out top now to Sturgeon. Sturgeon's going to feed in the post. Looks to Thomas. He spins. Has it poked away. Last touch by Crawford. Turnover number 4. And the start you probably want to see for the Senator team on the road in a tough environment is 22, Brent Smith will check back in, and we're likely to see really quick buzzsaw rotations here tonight from Coach Carmichael.
Yeah, he's trying to find a rhythm to slow this down, and I anticipate maybe seeing Noah or Michael go in the low post here in a little bit and try to get some mismatches.
Michael stopped, gave it to Peyton, got it right back, and on the dribble drive again, going to force the issue, and Coach, that's already 3 personals whistled against Crawford. Greg Bechtel with the call. This one's going to go on 24, and Noah Sturgeon picks up his first of the night. A little lob in on the 1-4 low set. They'll run the rub screen for Green. Couldn't get him. Instead, they go to Michael, and he hits the fadeaway teardrop. So Michael, the only offense West Washington needs now, Coach. He's on a 10-0 spurt by himself. Senators leading it by 8.
Yeah, it's just a mismatch with Michael's, with his strength and size-wise, not a big difference, but with his physicality, it becomes a mismatch. And there's another stop defensively.
Jackson was able to poke his hand in on Thomas on the post move, and it was kicked by Thomas out of bounds. That's turnover number 5 already for the Wolfpack. Dearborn's going to come back in after that brief rest, and he's going to set Thomas down, so they'll trade big for big. Senators yet to make a substitution here as Michael will walk it into the front court. 3 minutes to go, first quarter of play. 10-2, Senators on top. High post feed. Hunter turns, spins, runs into traffic. Second time he'll be whistled for a travel, and that's the second giveaway of the night for West Washington. Bryce Farmer, a 6'2 senior, will check in at 1 point and 1.5 rebounds per contest. And he'll give Hunter a break, let him think about that spin move he's been nailed for twice in the post.
Yeah, he's trying to force the issue. Defense is set. They're in good position. He needs to get those things off a couple of reversals where the defense hasn't quite rotated yet. So he just needs to be a little more patient. He's trying to force the issue.
Offense set in motion by Sturgeon. He gives it up out top to Coleman. They go down low. Beasley, the big guard, able to score on a little floater, and that ends the little 10-0 run for West Washington. And that's Beasley's first basket of the night. The team's leading scorer at about 11 points per game. Underneath, Noah Green works against Beasley, and he will be hacked. Team foul number 4 for Crawford. This will go on Beasley, and it'll send Noah Green to the line for the first time tonight. Chance to break Michael's little scoring streak he's got going. He's got all 10 of the Senator points here in this opening period of play. Noah to the line, 54 of 74 on the year for 72%. And Noah cashes in on the first attempt. Second free throw upcoming for Green. Again, a 72% free throw shooter. Looks good, rotation's good. Gets a little help from the iron coach and gets it to fall through. 12-4, again, good start here for West Washington as they settle back in defensively. Beasley will take it right side, stops. Nice denial by Jackson, but underneath, going to get an and one. Count it as Dearborn able to get a basket. Hoop in the harm, send him to the line for an old-fashioned three-point play opportunity as they're going to tag the Senators for their first foul of the night at the 2:18 mark. And this one's going to go on Bryce Farmer. Hunter's going to check in, and Bryce is going to have a seat. He'll check back out, and we'll see Beasley check out as well as 32. Tyrell Nicholson, the 6'2 senior, checks back in. Massive amounts of substitutions already for Crawford, as Coach said, trying to get into a rhythm here and find 5 that works. Dearborn finishes off the old-fashioned three-point play, and it's 12-7, Senators on top. 2:14 and counting here, first quarter of play. Sizemore in the front court, gives it to Peyton, gets it back, and they swing it around the perimeter. Green will drive it, left side, strong take, got it to go off the glass. Noah's got his first basket of the night 4 points in all, including 2 of 2 on that previous trip from the charity stripe. Underneath, Dearborn again had it rejected from behind on the help side by Hunter. Let's see if they get Jackson with the body or Hunter coming over the top. They will get Jackson for bodying up. Get him with the shove. That'll be team foul number 2, but good job of walling up. Good help side there to at least deny him a chance for a 3-point play opportunity.
Yeah, Jackson, he just took one too many steps trying to wall up to him. So, and he didn't know he had help side coming with Hunter. If he did, I think he could have just laid off, and Hunter was able to jump over Jackson, rise above him and get that block. But
Dearborn on the year, 21 of 32 for 66% at the free throw line for the Wolfpack. He cashes in on all 3 of his attempts thus far. Cuts that lead to 5 at 14-9. Substitutions again. Fresh legs come in for Crawford as they continue to shift guys in and out with the shuffle of the deck. Senators have used 1 substitution to this juncture, and that's Bryce Farmer. Little handoff. Peyton, nice feed on the give back to Michael. And Michael right now with some ice water flowing through those veins. He's got the majority of the scoring going here for the Senators. He started with the first 10 of the game. Peyton clears a defensive rebound off the miss by Crawford. Michael back at it again, Coach. 13 of the team 17 here early. Minute 20 and counting. Skip pass to Peyton, looks in the post. Kicks it back around the perimeter. Around the horn they go and into the post. Noah gets it, gives it back. Michael filling it, he got another one. This guy is lights out. Looked like the streak Matty had going there in the third quarter at Orleans the other night, Coach. He's already got 16.
Yeah, right now it's perfect from the field, perfect from the line. He's got
again.
another one.
Bingo, baby! Michael Sizemore is lights out unconscious. He has got 19 of the team's 23 in this first quarter. Off of the turnover, 6th turnover of the game for Crawford County. Who would have imagined this kind of start? And the scoring finally going to come to a close as Nicholson ends a 9-0 spurt, courtesy of Michael. Coach, whenever you get in a zone like that, you're feeling it on the offensive end. It looks 3 times bigger than a hula hoop that you're throwing that rock into underneath. He misses the little fadeaway jumper, maybe forced that one a little bit. 15 seconds and counting as Crawford's in business. 23-9, largest lead of the night. They were able to score in the last possession to make it 23-11. 5 seconds to play. Beasley's going to have to go. Didn't realize the time. 2-1, deep 3 on the way, and it's in and out. No good by Brent Smith, and that's the way we will close out this first quarter. What a great first 8 minutes for the Senator team. 23-11. They own it on the scoreboard after 1 quarter of play. We'll step aside, take a break, hear a word from a sponsor, and we'll come back with second quarter action after this. You're listening to the Senators tonight on Salem's 1220.
Feel it the minute you walk into Meadowview Health and Rehabilitation. Experts in long-term care, not just doing a job, but following a calling. They're here to help you and your family find answers, solutions, and peace of mind. In fact, they become an extension of your family. For more information about Meadowview, visit ascseniorcare.com or call 812-883-4681. That's 812-883-4681.
Senators have a monster opening quarter. What an opening act for the boys in blue as they put up 23 in the first 8 minutes of play. 19 of those 23 coming from Michael, who's absolutely feeling it. He kicks it in the corner now as the Senators open up play with the basketball here in the second quarter. They did not win the tip, a little unusual for them. Byrne misses a 3 from that deep far left corner. Rebound kicks out to Dearborn and the Pack. Senators have led by as many as 14 here early when Michael made it 23-9 off of that third consecutive three-pointer. Drive by Nicholson in the paint. Little floater won't go on the baby hook. Noah clears off the defensive glass. Senators back in business as they're in transition. Peyton has it, feeds down low to Byrne. He works against Dearborn. Counted in 1. Nice move by the Iceman. as he finishes at the bucket, Coach, his first basket of the night. Way to get the post involved here early after a great perimeter game for our guards in that first 8 minutes.
Yeah, when you hit the perimeter shot, you're going to stretch the defense a little. We did a nice job reversing the basketball. Again, if you're not getting anything initially off the first pass, it's going to be the reversals, and that's where we just need to continue to be patient, move the basketball, and move it with a little bit of urgency to shift the defense and then attack inside from there.
Jackson finishes a three-point play, so the Senators now have their largest lead of the night at 26-11. 15-point advantage. Nice up and under move by Beasley. He's got his second basket. 26-13. 1 minute gone by here in the second quarter of play from the Ron Ferguson Gymnasium here just outside of downtown Marengo. Senators trying to keep that unblemished mark in conference play alive. Again, they'll have a date with Orleans to close out the conference season on Valentine's night. As Hunter Sanford gets a basket underneath. So, Coach, where Michael owns the first quarter, it's our bigs with the first 5 of the period, making it 28-13. Underneath, shot may be partially blocked by Beasley. Tim Stroud says last touched by Blue. Substitution here is Cameron Marples, the 6'2 senior at nearly 2 points per game, will check in. And he'll let Dearborn have a rest, so a little bit shiftier lineup here for the Pack.
Yeah, they've got some good size here, that length that we talked about earlier. So but the advantage we have is the ability that we have to switch and guard with all 5 guys.
Underneath, Beasley showing why he's the team's leading scorer at about 11 a game as he gets a consecutive 2-point basket to fall, make it 28-15 now. Nearly 2 minutes into this second quarter of play. Green controls the dribble out front, left side. Now in the corner to Sanford, who kicks it high post to Byrne, down low to Peyton. They're going to get a little Robert Ory flop. So Peyton will be whistled for the player control foul. His first of the night, team's third. Coach, that'll also go as a giveaway in the turnover department.
Yeah, I mean, that's a coin toss when you make that call. Peyton probably should just go straight up with that one.
Senators have settled back in. Yet to see anything different than that man-to-man half-court defense, but it's been pretty stingy thus far. A lot of active hands. Senators closing out well in the corner. Good ball reversal as Thomas gets it back out to Beasley. He slows things up. Says, let's roll again through the O. 5:42 and counting. Beasley will take it himself on the 1-4 low set. Left it short. Hunter with the rebound. Off to Michael, who will bring it up left side in front of the Crawford County home fan base. Feed down low from Green to Byrne. His turnaround jumper won't go. Nice poke out on the rebound. So credit on the offensive glass goes to Hunter with that back tip. It goes then to Noah Green, and we'll have a foul. This one's going to go on 25. Marples, who just checked in, will be his first. That's already team foul number 6, Coach. So
yeah.
One more, and the Senators in the bonus the rest of the way.
We got to continue to recognize when we have position, underneath. We've got some post entries sometimes, and we've been forcing it. Jackson forced it. Coach Smith's telling him to kick it out. The way they're collapsing, if we just get post entries, we're going to get a lot of offense created out of that without scoring from the post.
Noah get a breather here as they put Bryce Farmer back in. Michael filling up from NBA range. That one won't go. Rebound long comes off to Marples. They'll give it off to Beasley, and they'll bring it down and settle back into the offense once again as he backs it out to the volleyball spike line. They'll walk it in between the circles, picked up by Farmer. So Bryce can force him to give it up. He does. Pump fake. Thinking about 3 with Smith. He thought better of it after the closeout by Peyton. They go down low to Thomas. He'll work against Hunter. Great job of walling him up. And we're going to get another basket and one. And they're going to get a little nickel dimer here. Maybe a little hip check, they say, by Hunter. Tim Stroud says, you can body him up, just not be that physical. Maybe throwing that hip into the shooter. So for Thomas, that'll be his first basket. Chance for another old-fashioned 3-point play. Already our third one of those here tonight in this first half. 28-17, substitutions again. This time Gavin Coleman checking back in for the Pack. Number 22, Brent Smith, will check out. Free throw on the way for Thomas. 34 of 47 on the year, 72% shooter. Come up dry on that trip. Senators catch a break. 28-17, 4.5 to play before the halftime intermission. Farmer has it, far side, left corner, kicks it out now to Walker. Walker around the perimeter it goes on the right wing to Sizemore, now to Hunter. Thinking about going off the dribble, he will. Gets it into the paint, rises up, misses the jumper, won't go. Tough shooting woes here for Hunter early. A couple of travels also whistled against him in that first period of action. Underneath, little drag of the pivot foot. Good idea on the stop and the fake by Thomas, but decided to take that foot a little too far, Coach. It's already 7 turnovers against the Pack.
Yeah, he's a threatening, person down there in the post. Pretty imposing with his length, his ability, the way he can jump. So Hunter's athletic ability created that turnover.
Halfway point of this quarter. Bryce had his pass deflected, nearly threw it away. Michael saves it, kicks corner to Peyton. 3-ball, right corner pocket, won't go. Able to clear it out as Dearborn gives it off to Beasley quickly in transition. 3-ball on the way by Coleman will go. First 3-ball of the night for the Wolfpack. Senators have seen enough as the lead's been trimmed to 8 here at 28-20, 3:42 to go. Timeout on the floor will be a full timeout, so we'll step aside and let's take one as well. You're listening to the Senators tonight on Salem's 1220.
Caring people make the difference. You can feel it the minute you walk into Salem Crossing. Experts in long-term care, not just doing a job, but following a calling. They're here to help you and your family find answers and solutions and peace of mind. In fact, they become an extension of your family. For more information about Salem Crossing, visit ASCSSeniorCare.com or call 812-883-1877. That's 812-883-1877.
Back out of the timeout by Coach Smith and the Senators. 3:42 to play before the halftime break. And what was once a 15-point lead at 26-11 has shrunk rapidly to an 8-point advantage for the Senators, leading at 28-20. And a nice little run here, Coach. Little 9-2 spurt for the Wolfpack.
Yeah, they're going to come out and change up their defense a little, anticipate some traps in the corner. And, right now, looking kind of like a 3-2 right now.
Little matchup. Byrne will fire from the corner pocket left side. It will not go, so him and Peyton can't get it going from outside. Michael was filling it in the first quarter of play. 3-ball for Nicholson, though, left side. It will not go. Rebound comes off to Thomas. Second chance scoring opportunities. Nice feed underneath from Nicholson to a wide open Dearborn, who was patient, waited for the pump fake to develop, and it's now 28-22. This is an 11-2 run now for the Wolfpack. Senators got to maintain some composure here, Coach. Dribble drive by Michael, cut off. No real estate left, leaves it off for the Iceman. He missed the point-blank range shot. Comes off to Beasley. Beasley now in transition, has it blocked partially, or at least I thought it was off the backboard. But somehow Beasley got it to go. Coach, he's got 8, nearing his season average, and now it's a 13-2 run for the Pack.
Yeah, we just got to make shots, settle in. Again, this is where the defensive end is so important, We've not found our rhythm in the second quarter, missing shots.
Jackson controls it out front, gives it to Peyton, tries to feed in the post. Maybe need to put a little more snap of the rubber band on that bounce pass entry to Hunter. Had it poked away. 2:22 on the clock before the halftime break. Senators' 15-point lead has shrunk now to 4. Trying to free somebody up. Michael will lob it in to Hunter, but he can't hold on. He thought he was fouled and went over the back. But no call except for the whistle to say we're going the other way. So that's turnover number 4 here in this half for the Senators. Again, Crawford with 7 giveaways thus far.
Yeah, that looked like a foul, or it's going to be out on them. But at any rate, you go with it. And
just got a message from across the gym from one of your favorite people saying they missed you coming into the gym tonight and wants me to give you a smack in the back of the head. That's exactly what I got whenever I arrived. Underneath, shot missed, won't go for Dearborn. Michael clears it out in transition to Peyton quickly in the front court to a cutting Jackson Byrne. Nice up and under. The Iceman can't finish, though. He is struggling mightily from the field. Tim Stroud says last touch by West Washington. And right now, there's that rough patch, and it's cliche enough, but it's true here. Senators, 10-0 run there by Michael after they took 2.5 minutes to score. And now a 13-2 run here by Crawford to get themselves back in it. Nice over-the-head pass, over-the-shoulder pass to a cutting Nicholson. And now make it a 15-2 run here in this second period of play. Nicholson's got his 4th point of the night. It's 28-26, and the Nerves start to maybe work themselves up a little bit. Some of the Senator fan base here. Short corner, Hunter, he can't get the shot to go, hangs his head as Thomas clears it out. A little frustration setting in on O.
Yeah, we got to create it down here on the defensive end. The last few possessions, the defense hasn't been great.
Nice split of the double team. Quick first step by Beasley. He blew the wide open layup. 63 seconds and counting. Senators will see if they can cycle through the offense here. I don't know if they can hold for one, but we'll have a quick little reach and a foul at the mid-court stripe by Tyrell Nicholson. So a team foul, number 7. And for Nicholson, that'll be his first. Farmer's going to check in. Burden will check out to get a breather. So it's Farmer, Walker, Green, Sizemore, and Sanford right now for the Senators with 57.2 on the clock. And Mr. Money, Michael Sizemore, Captain Clutch, to the free throw line. He had 19 of the team's 23 in that first quarter. Give him an even 20 now, Coach, as he picks up where he left off at New Wash on Saturday night.
Yeah, he's found his rhythm, and you know it's something they focused on coming out in that second quarter. Changed some guys that's been guarding Michael and trying to make our other guys make shots. And early we did, but we of late in this quarter we've not been able to knock them down.
2 free throws by Michael ends the bleeding momentarily. That stops a 15-2 spurt here for the host Wolfpack. Underneath, Dearborn working over the outstretched arms of Hunter. Couldn't get his finger on it. Shot it at the wrong angle off the window. 35 seconds to play. Michael crosses over now and comes into the front court as he works the dribble against Nicholson. They give it off to Green, left side. High post to Walker. Turns, stops, pops. Can't get the 16-foot jumper to go as the mid-range game's gone cold for West Washington.
Wasn't a shot coach wanted either.
Maybe a little rush there. Could have maybe settled for one. 15 seconds to play. 30-26, Senators in front, but this second quarter's belong to the Wolfpack. For the high post screen. It'll give off by Beasley to Nicholson. Works the crossover, gives it back to Beasley. Thought about three. Thought maybe he traveled. He'll step through, and the shot will be no good. As we will end the first half of the play, both teams head to the locker room, and the Senators, who once led it by as many as 15, now only lead it by 4 at 30-26 as we go to the halftime break. We'll step aside. We'll take that break, listen to a couple of sponsors. We'll start crunching right after this on Salem's 1220 WSLM.
Sit on the patio and watch the birds. Cynthia wanted to attract a wider variety of birds. We talked about which types are native to our area, and I pointed out the feed, seeds,
Looks for help, gets it off now to Green, who drives left baseline again, left it short, got his own rebound, goes up, left it short again, but good work on the offensive glass. And it is Noah Green who will be rewarded with a trip to the free throw line, Coach, a 72% shooter on the year. He was closing that quickly. Dearborn able to get up with some hops and swat it out of bounds. Bechtel will give it off to Michael, who'll trigger it in on the 1-4 low set. 31-30 and poked away by Dearborn. He beats Hunter to the spot. Turnover number 5 for the Senators. And Crawford now in some great position to take their first lead, since they led it at 2-0, but another offensive back tip. Senators kind of falling apart here since the Wolfpack went on that 15-2 run in the second period. Nicholson works the dribble, takes a high screen from Dearborn. They'll get it across to Beasley. And now across the way on the dribble drive, Coleman drives, kicks, gives it to Beasley. They'll feed to Dearborn. He'll work against Byrne. Turnaround jumper on the baseline, draws nothing but air, and Michael comes out with it. He'll look to push in transition, instead slows it up as he crosses the timeline against Nicholson. Second burst of speed will have a whistle, and instead of a foul, it'll be a timeout, a 30-second timeout taken to nothing before Michael came to life. Senators have led since that juncture. Hunter has it down in front of the Senator bench, goes high post to Byrne, stops, nowhere to go. They're trying to get Payton now on the mismatch against Coleman. 5'8" against 6'4". Payton gets it. Couldn't get it to go, but Hunter with an offensive rebound and a putback gives him his second basket of the night, and the Senators now on a little 5-0 spurt trying to create some space. Nice dribble drive and kick by Beasley. Couldn't get a perimeter shot out of it. Nicholson thinks about the dribble drive, and now a kick back to Beasley in the corner. He'll take a screen from Thomas. Stops. Nowhere to go. Coleman now back over to Nicholson. Patience this time around for the Pack. We cross the halfway mark here of this third quarter. Big crowd on hand tonight as expected by the Crawford faithful. Senator Nation also traveling in force on this rare Thursday night outing, and we'll have a foul from behind. And anytime Peyton's frustrated right now and shakes off his teammate Jackson Byrne, he's going to get a word from Coach Smith, and he tells him, hey, just settle down. Anytime you try to swat from behind like that, though, you're going to typically get tagged.
Well, that started with his closeout. He's got to know Beasley. Beasley's put it on the floor all night, and, you know, from the perimeter, he's not looked great shooting the basketball, even there at 15 feet, shooting a free throw. So close out, you know, with a little hesitation, knowing that he's going to put the ball on the floor, knowing he's going to go to his right hand. So it's important that we understand that with him, and he's been getting everything around, you know, 8 to 10 feet. So just his closeout prevents that foul.
Second foul on Peyton. Team foul number 2. And only able to get 1 of 2 was Beasley as he missed the first, hit the second. 36-31. Continues to be a tight ball game as both teams have tried to kind of settle in and let the Butterflies rest. Skip pass across to Peyton, now back to Byrne. The Iceman gives it off on the wing to Green, who feeds low post. Hunter's going to muscle his way in, misses the shot. Maybe could have got called for a player control as he bulled his way into the post. And now we'll have a reach and a foul. And this one will go against Cameron Marples. And this will be Wolfpack foul number 3, Coach. And it'll be second on Marples, but it'll be on the floor. So 1-4 low set. Tim Stroud says, hey, chill out to Dearborn and to Byrne as they're fighting for position on the low block. Michael will have to send it out between the circles to Peyton, who goes high post to Sanford. Dribble handoff to Green, and they'll reset through the offense. Cycle back through once again. Going to their up-out back set. Little guard cut. They get Peyton on that guard cut screen from the high post. Turnaround jumper won't go. Dangerous rebound attempt by Hunter nearly over the back of Dearborn. Beasley in transition. Wastes no time. Gets to the rim. Nice finish over the front of the iron. And Beasley now with 11, Coach, right on his average. And it's a 36-33 ball game. Byrne has it out front at the volleyball spike line, gives it to Peyton. Now they're going to go into the post and let Noah work, and saw that one coming. Crawford thought they had it too, because you could hear their initial reaction by both fan bases. Our guys thought, oh, here it goes the other way, but Tim Stroud says, nope, we're going to call a block. So that might get Tim ran out of town.
They can say what they want, but Noah didn't take a step to the baseline. He took a step to the middle. Player was set up in a position for a baseline, you know, for a step towards the baseline for a charge.
That's huge, because that's that's Beasley's third, and to the other end off the turnover. Senators, though, give up another basket. This one to Coleman. He's got 5 on the night. First 2-point field goal for him, and it's 36-35. They just keep staying within striking distance, Coach, and underneath. Ball lost by Hunter. Poked away, and it'll stay with the Senators. 2:18 to go in this third quarter. 36-35. Good crowd again on hand here tonight by both ball clubs. High post. Hunter feeds down low to Peyton. Up and under. His shot won't go. Left it long off the back iron. Rebound comes out to Brent Smith, the 6'3 senior guard. And now slowing it up, Nicholson. They'll look for their first lead since 2-0 in the early outset. 2 minutes to play in this third quarter. Senators settle into the man-to-man. Minute 55 and counting. Thomas will check in. Another big for Crawford County on the next dead ball exchange. Again, working with a 2-man crew here tonight. Mr. Craig Bechtel working that girls sectional at the Doghouse this week in sectional 61. And Tim Stroud, no stranger to PLAC basketball himself. Holding out front. We'll see. I don't know. Coach Carmichael might be content here, Coach, to try to work this clock. If the Senators don't come out and force the issue, they may burn this last minute and a half.
Yeah, I think they will. I think they'll look to take the last shot and see if they can take the lead going into the fourth. It's a big mental step for them.
Lid may come off at a Wolfpack den here if they take the lead, especially if they're able to work enough clock to take the last one of the quarter, but wasting no time. Marples, he'll drive. Last touch by Hunter. as it bounced off his hip. Coach Carmichael did not like that decision, and coming back in with those 3 personals. We'll see if Beasley can hang on. We watched the girls gamble from Borden the other night and put the Schindler girl back in with 3 personals, but that was in the first half, and she quickly picked up a 4th. Little spread look, little junk out of bounds play. 66 seconds and counting in the 3rd quarter. Dribble drive on the crossover. Nice take by Nicholson and could not get it to go. Hunter clears the glass and tell Michael to hold it up here. We go to 55 seconds to go and counting. He'll bring it into the front court, leave it off left wing now to Walker. Walker back to Sanford. Sanford now on the right wing to Michael. Sizemore back to Walker to Sanford. Little 3-man exchange out front as they're letting Noah and the Iceman work the high and low post exchange. Michael has it again, right wing as they continue to shift through the offense here and burn some clock. Half minute to go in the period. They've got the matchup they want with Green working against Coleman, and there it is. And it didn't look like Coleman stepped over in time on that baseline, but Noah's going to be whistled for the player control, and the Senator fan's going to let Craig Bechtel hear about that one as Noah picks up his first team foul number 3. Dearborn will check in. Nicholson will check out, so it takes away a dribble drive presence, but now you've got a strong rebounding and post presence back in with the Dearborn kid. And now we'll trade out one of our bigs as Byrne will have a seat, and Bryce Farmer will check in. So Farmer, Green, Sizemore, Walker, and Sanford to close out this 3rd quarter. 22 seconds and counting as Beasley will walk it into the front court. 15 seconds to play. We'll go with a 1-4 low. Yep. We'll see if we can step in and take something. A little high screen here from Dearborn. He'll look to roll. Beasley kicks it back out to Smith. Now on the high post, out top it goes to Dearborn. He'll force a shot. It won't go. Rebound put back up and in at the buzzer. And just as promised, the crowd erupts here in the Ron Ferguson Gymnasium. Great second effort by Dearborn. Nobody got a butt in the gut and checked him truly off the boards, coach. And Crawford will go into the 4th quarter with their first lead since it was 2-0 early, 37-36. We'll step aside, take a break here, a word from a sponsor, and we'll come back with 4th quarter Senator action right after this.
Make the difference. You can feel it the minute you walk into Meadowview Health and Rehabilitation. Experts in long-term care, not just doing a job, but following a calling. They're here to help you and your family find answers, solutions, and peace of mind. In fact, they become an extension of your family. For more information about Meadowview, visit ascseniorcare.com or call 812-883-4681. That's 812-883-4681.
Senators break the huddles. They come out to begin the 4th quarter of play. They will have the rock, coach. Kind of reminds you of that old little tale or wise fable of the tortoise and the hare. Senators burst out of the gate after that first 2.5-minute drought, put up 23. Since then, 7 and 6 respectively in the 2nd and 3rd. Meanwhile, slow and steady has been the tortoise that is Crawford County, 11, 15, and 11, and that brings them to a 1-point advantage starting the 4th. Senators will look to get something going quickly here and try to maybe establish a post presence once again. Michael will take it. He'll go in the mid-post. Misses the fadeaway jumper. Rough play underneath as Dearborn clears it away from Sanford, and the scrapping hands of Peyton Walker as well. Half minute in already to this 4th quarter. Crawford up by 1 with the poke away. Michael able to come up with the steal. We're going to have a whistle and a foul. This is going to go on Crawford. So we'll credit them with a turnover. Their first of the 2nd half, 8th of the ball game. And Michael coming up with the steal gets knocked to the deck. This will be foul number 2 on Ty Nicholson. Team foul number 5. Noah will walk it up against pressure now from Gavin Coleman, the 5'8 junior guard. Coleman's going to force him to give it up mid-post to Byrne. No turn and square and face. You'd like to see him maybe turn and face a little bit there and use a quick dribble to try to take Thomas to the rack.
Yeah, I mean, we're just not moving and
trying to get a timeout. Nobody sees the Senator bench, and the coach is standing up wanting a timeout. Craig Beckville still doesn't see it, and finally Tim Stroud does. But again, you know, Senator coach is getting a little worked up, and maybe you would in that situation, but that's part of also working with a two-man crew that's used to having that third guy maybe right here in coach's earshot.
Yeah, it's tough whenever that third man's not standing there to get the timeout.
6:57 to play in regulation. It's a full timeout. We'll step aside and take another one as well. You're listening to the Senators tonight on Salem's 1220.
Caring people make the difference. You can feel it the minute you walk into Salem Crossing. The experts in long-term care, not just doing a job, but following a calling. They're here to help you and your family find answers and solutions and peace of mind. In fact, they become an extension of your family. For more information about Salem Crossing, visit ASCSSeniorCare.com or call 812-883-1877. That's 812-883-1877.
Senators finally get a full timeout whistled in their favor. That leaves them with a full and a 30 down the stretch here, Coach. And Crawford still with plenty to burn in the pocket. It'll be a little double stack. 2 men on the block, 2 men on the elbow. They'll break that double stack formation as they'll throw it out long and deep to Peyton, who gives it up on the dribble handoff to Green. Now on that right wing to Byrne. Back out top to Hunter, who's looking for Michael. Won that guard matchup in the post. Coach is up off the bench telling him to back off and collapse. Wanting help down low. They're going to try to maybe double up Michael if he do throw it to the post. I think they're more worried about him scoring against a smaller guard than they are Jackson shooting a deep one 2 feet behind the three-point line, and that's a good strategy to have because no double team gives Michael enough room to score on a little fadeaway. And we have Senators back out in front at 38-37 off that last exchange, but then the Senators give it right back. Third lead change here as a basket by Thomas gives him 4 on the night. It's 39-38. Back and forth we go, and now a ping-pong affair over this last 6 minutes of regulation. Byrne has it left wing. Had room for a minute, decides to wait and see if they can get a cutter across the paint. Michael now works the high post. Little traffic jam in there, Coach. The spacing not very good. Now we're going to have a 3 seconds call, and that's what happens sometimes when you maybe get that confusion. Tried to run guys high post to low post, but we had 3 trying to do a 2-man job.
Well, we need to look to shoot the 3. It's obvious how much they're collapsing in the lane, and we've got shooters on the floor. We need to look to knock down that jump shot.
Senators have 4 turnovers in this half. Now 8 in the ball game to 8 for Crawford County, who's only turned it over once in this second half. Dribble drive by Coleman, gets into the paint and has to kick it out to Dearborn as he ran into a wall of blue. Under 5.5 to go in regulation. 39-38. Homestanding Wolfpack out in front by 1. Nicholson drives, turns around, shot blocked by Hunter Sanford. Hunter says, come on, guys, you got to help me out. If I'm going to swat it, you got to come up with the loose ball. Instead, it's Crawford who does, and Coach Carmichael will burn a 30-second timeout here on the floor with 5:14 to go in regulation. But again, good offensive glass work by the Pack.
Yeah, I mean, they're crashing the boards, and we just look a little passive right now. And, offensively, we're not looking for a whole lot in our offense, and we're trying to force the issue on some things. So we just got to play the whole game and utilize what they're giving us. And right now they're giving us some 15-foot jump shots. They're giving us a 3-point jump shot. So let's catch them in rhythm instead of catching and standing in a position where you're not ready to shoot the ball.
Senators need to come up with a big stop, though. Find a way, a little gut check time here in the fourth quarter to come up with a stop. Only trail up by 1, but with it being a back and forth affair so close, you're on the road. You'd rather have that comfort of maybe a 5, 6, 8-point cushion at this point in the ball game, which they had for quite some time in that first half. But a great run and great bounce back effort here by the Pack to make things very interesting as we head down the home stretch. Back to action out of the timeout by the Pack. 30-second timeout called by Coach Carmichael. As the Wolfpack go back into their half-court set against the man-to-man. Nice spin move, and Beasley able to shake Green. No help side off of the spin move. Nobody collapsed to help. 41-38, largest lead of the night, believe it or not, at 3 for the Wolfpack. And now we're going to have a foul. Another flop attempt. Coach Carmichael can't believe it. Thought he had another one as he lets Craig Bechtel hear about it. Chews on the earlobe a little bit. And this one's going to go on Dearborn, his second. Team foul number 6. Next one will put the Senators in the bonus the rest of the way home, Coach. Long throw out to Hunter Sanford to try to go right back to Michael. Couldn't get it to him on the re-entry. 4:45 and counting in regulation. Again, Crawford leading by 3, their largest lead of the night. They led it 2-0 for the first couple minutes. And then an and-one opportunity, though, answers right back as Noah's going to try to close the gap and tie us up for just the second time here with an old-fashioned three-point play. Nice patience, nice move, and good finish at the rack.
Yeah, it's just good movement. Again, we're doing a lot of standing around. Noah made a great cut and had a good find down in the paint and hopefully tie this thing up, but missed that free throw.
Noah struggling from the line a little bit. He's missed his last couple of attempts on the night, just 7 points for Green, who again averages nearly 13 a game. 4:22 and counting. Back to the other end. Beasley has it swatted from behind by Hunter, but there's another offensive hustle play. Nice rebound attempt by Dearborn, who saved it to Thomas, and Thomas gets hacked across the arm. And the foul, I think, is going to go on Noah Green here, and that will be his second personal, team foul, number 4. And Thomas will go to the free throw line on the night, 0 for 1. This one a little bit short, no bend to the knees there, Coach. He's a 72% free throw shooter, but not showing it tonight. Substitution for the Wolfpack, 22. Brent Smith comes in. He's going to spell Gavin Coleman. He'll trade senior for junior in the backcourt. Thomas, a little bit more of a bend in the knees this time around. Second one is up and good. So finally gets one to cash in from the free throw line. 42-40. Timeout on the floor. Going to be a full timeout as both teams have a seat. And it's timeout Crawford County, so we'll step aside and take one as well. You're listening to the Senators tonight on Salem's 1220. Also joining us tonight, perhaps on live stream, WW Senator Radio on Facebook and Twitter. We'll come back with more fourth quarter action right after this.
I like to sit on the patio and watch the birds.
Cynthia wanted to attract a wider variety of birds. We talked about which types are native to our area, and I pointed out the feed, seeds, and feeders that would work best.
Ace is the place when you want to follow nature's tweets. Hashtag sparrows and warblers.
During February, buy 2 bags of Ace Wild Bird Food at $9.99 each and get another bag free. View current Red Hot Pies at facebook.com/Ace Hardware in Salem.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Timeout taken by Coach Carmichael and the Pack to talk things over for this defensive trip. They'll be facing the Senators looking to tie this up or maybe take the lead with a 3 as the Wolfpack hold on to a 2-point advantage right now as we meet the halfway point of this fourth quarter. Byrne, high post, feeds down low to Noah. Shot partially altered, but somehow gets it to go as Noah now inches closer to double figures. He's got 9 on the night, and we're tied for the second time this evening at 42 apiece. Dribble drive by Beasley, gets into the paint, stops, tried to give it off, instead turns it over. Turnover number 9 for the Pack, second one of the half. Now we'll bring it into the front court, slow it up above the volleyball spike line, give it off on the wing now to Hunter. Hunter, high post to Byrne, who looked in the post, gives it back to Peyton, now short corner to Hunter. Instead of taking it against Dearborn, he'll walk it back out, and he'll slow things up and continue to let time expire here. 3:23 and counting, tie ball game at 42 apiece here from Crawford County High School. Wild layup, air ball won't go for Michael, and in transition, 3-on-1 break. Peyton in no man's land, nowhere to go, has to foul. Doesn't let Thomas hit the shot, pretty hard contact. Not an intentional, but just enough to keep the basket from going. But for Peyton, he'll pick up his third, and that'll be team foul number 5, Coach, as Thomas will go back to the line again.
Yeah, we just kind of forced a shot down here on the baseline and didn't get back defensively. I just feel like we need some more positive energy from our guys right now. You know, just 3:10 left. Use every bit of that 3:10. Know there's a lot of action that can happen in that 3:10, and it'll slowly come to us.
First free throw up and good by Thomas. Hits the second as well, Coach. He missed his first two. He's hit 3 in a row. Good time to hit a stride from the charity stripe as both teams looking to be in the bonus here down the stretch. Matter of fact, Crawford already has put the Senators in the bonus. Coach Carmichael all over this group as Peyton hits a big 3 in front of the Senator bench. His first triple of the night gives the Senators the lead back at 45-44.
That's our first triple attempt of the second half.
Yowza Beasley on the kick out. Swings it to Smith. Back out to Nicholson. Now to Beasley again on that left wing. 2.5 to play. Senators clinging to now a 1-point lead at 45-44. Little high screen out front from Thomas. Dribble drive, and we're going to have a foul. Jim Stroud with the call. This will be team foul number 6. So the next one will have both teams definitely in the bonus unless it's player control. As this one is going to go against Hunter Sanford. Now it'll be Sanford's second. 2:26. They'll go 1-4 low again. They'll rub Nicholson off a screen from Dearborn. He comes back to the corner, stops, pops, no help side. Thomas, though, offensive rebound as he goes up strong. Michael thought he had him tied up. Bottom line is, though, we again do not get a butt to the gut and get a guy cleared off the glass.
Yeah, they've won this end of the floor with rebounding. They've owned us on the offensive boards. A lot of standing and watching when the shot goes up.
Foul on Michael, his first, team foul number 7. So both teams even in that category, as now it's 4 straight makes from the free throw line for Thomas. And we're tied back up for the third time at 45 apiece. Thomas looking for the second one, eyes it, lets it roll, and that one gets a kind roll off the back iron. So now 5 straight makes from the charity stripe, 5 of 7 for Thomas. And he gives Crawford the lead back once again at 46-45. Senators patient thus far, coming up on the 2-minute warning. Sanford has it, looking for some help, trying to direct traffic. Peyton in the high post, Byrne weak side, high post. And the Senators look a little bit disorganized again with their spacing, so they'll blow their final full timeout here in regulation. Minute 57 to go, and while they take a full timeout, we'll step aside and we'll take one as well, and we'll come back with the conclusion of this one right after this.
Looking for your next new or used car? Then head on down and check out the deals at John Jones Auto Group in Salem, Corydon, Scottsburg, and Greenville. Whether you visit the lot and take a test drive or visit the virtual showroom online at johnjonesautogroup.com, you'll find the largest selection of GM cars in Kentuckiana. Whether it's a car, truck, or minivan, John Jones Auto Group has something to fit your style and your budget. Bad credit? No problem. We will find the financing that's right for you. At John Jones, we pride ourselves at finding the right deal for your situation. Call or visit today, 1-800-473-5546, or go online at johnjonesautogroup.com and check us out on Facebook and Twitter too. John Jones Auto Group, the largest dealer in southern Indiana, serving Salem, Corydon, Scottsburg, Greenville. You see so many because they paid so little.
Back out of the timeout by the Senators, a full timeout, leaving them with 1:30 down the stretch here, Coach, and away we go, 46-45. Crawford up by 1, but the Senators have the basketball. Green into the high post, nice backdoor feed to Michael, who left it short, may have had it partially blocked by Thomas. Good presence by the big man to step over and try to offer a little bit of help, just maybe got enough of a fingertip or fingernail on it to slow the progression of that ball to the rack. Under a minute and a half to play now. Senators are going to have to come out and force some harsh pressure on the perimeter. Nice dribble drive by Nicholson, who gives it off, though, to a wide open Matt Dearborn. He's got 15 on the night. It's 48-45. Second 3-point advantage for the Wolfpack. 30-second timeout by the Senators. Coach, they've used them all up, so better get in your final instructions here while you can, because from here it's going to have to be teaching moments from the sideline.
Yeah, they got to be great listeners, relax, and, come down and understand what's got to happen on a make, what's going to have to happen on a miss. There's got to be a lot of conversation in this timeout about all the possibilities and all the scenarios coming up here in this final minute 20, and it's important that they keep their heads and understand those things and just mentally stay tough.
Senators come out of the timeout. Again, they have none left. Crawford, I believe, with 2 fulls and a 30 left to their credit. Minute 19 on the clock on the game reset. 7 personals against each team, so both teams in the bonus, unless it's player control fouls, in which they would just inbound on the dead ball. 48-45, Crawford with a 3-point lead. Senators into the front court. Directing traffic again. Hunter, they're going to try to break Peyton free. Nice closeout, though, by Smith. Not going to give him any room. Now Peyton will force the issue. Turns, gives it off to underneath. Nice assist. And Hunter finishes at the basket. He's got just 6 on the night. But it's 48-47, 1-point lead for the Wolfpack. They've got the ball. Under a minute to play now. Nice dribble drive in by Beasley, who leaves it off for Thomas. Pump fake, and they got another foul. Hunter thought he went straight up, Coach. But sometimes all it takes is the tilt of those arms forward. Been there, done that as a player.
Yeah, he got him with the body. Just let him get too deep in the lane. It's important to rebound. Hopefully we have a miss here. We can get a rebound and push the other way.
And Crawford doing a nice job, though, by the way, of creating that space by going that little 4 out, 1 in, and letting guys sag and then kick into that open guy who's cutting baseline as Thomas continues to tear it up from the free throw line in his 4th quarter. This will be attempt number 8 if he cashes in. That'll make him 7 of 8 in this period. Second one on the way. 49-47, make it an even half-century mark. 50-47, 3-point game. 45 seconds and counting. Michael to Peyton in the front court. Now to Hunter on that left wing. Senator fans watching on eagerly as Peyton pump fake for a 3. Couldn't get it off. Now he'll force one over the top, which is an air ball. And the rebound comes off to Beasley as Jackson's going to have to foul him. And the Crawford fan base now on their feet and going wild. 31.6 will walk to the other end on team foul number 9. Check that they're going to get Green instead of Byrne, who was also there at the scene of the crime. 3rd personal against Noah. And to the other end, Adam Beasley, the 6'3 senior. Big night for him. Great job of running the floor, running the show offensively. Team leader, though, in free throw percentage at 82%.
Yeah, we got to hope for a miss here.
Up, and he does miss it. So catch a lucky break here. Beasley couldn't get it to go. Michael with the drive, left side, goes in, draws contact. Circus shot goes.
We don't have one.
Burned a timeout. I didn't think we had one left.
We do have one.
So maybe that was a 30-second earlier, my bad, taken by maybe Coach Carmichael. Aya had us for 2 30s taken out. Almost had a Chris Webber moment.
I thought, yeah. Based on what you had said, I thought we were out.
Oh, used up my one error for the week,
That's why it's
Coach.
important. I mean, Peyton Jung, I know he's a senior, but still he's a young kid shooting that 3, with 30-some seconds left earlier. Sometimes you just got to take what they give you and make them go make free throws. You got to when you're under 30 seconds, you've got to extend the game every second you can. So if we can get buckets, make them make free throws, go a little Jimmy Valvano theory and make them hit free throws, and that will lengthen the game.
The good news for West Washington is certainly not out of it. 1-point game, 50-49 in the game reset. 9 personals against the Senators, 7 against the Wolfpack. So the next one whistled against the Senators will put Crawford in a double bonus. 22.6, they will inbound under their own basket, or under the basket of the Senators, and they'll be forced to take a timeout as Smith couldn't find anybody free. And they're going to burn a full timeout here on the floor. So while they'll talk about some press break opportunities to get it into the hands of their best free throw shooters, we'll step aside and take a quick break as well.
walk into Meadowview Health and Rehabilitation. Experts in long-term care, not just doing a job, but following a calling. They're here to help you and your family find answers, solutions, and peace of mind. In fact, they become an extension of your family. For more information about Meadowview, visit ascseniorcare.com or call 812-883-4681. That's 812-883-4681.
Pretty fitting as the Senators come out of their timeout huddle. Timeout called by Crawford County. They'll see if they're as sly as the Pink Panther defensively here, if they can come up with a steal and score. Instead, it'll come in quickly, and the steal goes to, well, Bryce had it for a moment. It comes, though, into the hands. Somehow, Bryce had that for a split second, went through his hands on the roll, and it will go to the hands of the junior guard, Gavin Coleman. And this one will be whistled against Noah, and that'll be his 4th personal foul.
Almost a Larry Bird action of the steal from the sideline, and
had just what you wanted. Bryce just couldn't hold on. Don't know if he was expecting it as Beasley tried to wrap it around the double team on the trap on the 1-2-1-1 pressure. And Coleman able to step up and knock down a big free throw. So a 2-point game. Even if he hits this one, Senators still not out of contention here, but it'll take a 3-point basket or a very quick 2 and a foul again. Coach Carmichael puts the hands up, little chirp action, tells him to talk defensively, communicate who you got. He misses the second one.
2-point.
2-point game at 51-49, 11 seconds, 10, under 10 to go. Michael has it, thought about 3, gives it to Byrne. Now to Peyton, 3 balls on the way for Peyton. It's long and off the mark, no good. Last touch by Jackson. Stop! Jackson, last to touch it. Peyton had a wide open look from the left wing, and it would not go. Left it just a little long off
the... about 2.8 on the clock.
Coach about to come unhinged here. Thought they should have stopped it a little bit sooner. Senators are out of timeouts now. 51-49, 1.3, still plenty of time, but it's got to be absolutely immediate without it being intentional. There it is. 0.2 of a second, and that's going to be all she wrote as we'll walk to the other end.
No way. There's no way.
Not sure about this handy clock work here. This is going to be the 5th whistled against Noah Green. And the Senators seeing this slip out of their grip. 0.2 of a second by the Derek Fisher rule. Can't really get anything going here. But Craig Bechtel's going to come over there and ask him to put some more time on, which would allow him. The thing is, though,
it's got to be
really
1.3.
Really going to be pointless, though, if the team's leading free throw shooter, Adam Beasley, can knock this down. He's an 82% free throw shooter for the Senators. That's team foul number 10. So it's double bonus. And now the players coming over. Greg Bechtel says, okay, now it's 0.4 of a second. So we can hope for a miss, a make, throw it deep, see if we can get a 3 off. First one on the way, and it went in and out. There it is. So now if he hits this one,
we can make.
We can throw it. Yes, we really need to make, because otherwise it's going to have to be a baseball heave. Beasley missed the first. The second one is on the way. It's in and out, no good. Byrne catches. He's at full length of the floor, and it is going to end with the Crawford County Wolfpack somehow escaping on their home floor with a 51-49 win. Remind fans here that not all is lost, Coach, because while this gives the Senators their first loss in conference play, now, how ironic is this? The Senators have to become Paoli's biggest fans in that regular season game, that finale at Chambers Gymnasium. Whenever Crawford comes to Paoli, Senators will have to hope, like everything, that the Rams can come up with a big win on their home floor and the Senators can get the job done against the Dogs, and that would give them 1 loss each.
Yeah, and it can happen. I mean, Paoli's got the team. Paoli's got the team that can do that. So, you know, it's no fun whenever you're relying on another team to get you a championship. It's always nice when you can put yourself in the driver's seat. But just too many things on the hustle category where we got beaten tonight. You know, whether it's offensive rebounds, loose balls, sliding into the correct defensive position, just those types of things that got us here tonight.
Gibson, you are the winner.
Going to step aside here, and as the crowd starts to file out of Ron Ferguson Gymnasium, Crawford fans will go home enjoying and savoring this 2-point victory, 51-49. What a wild one we had on tap tonight. Senators, though, will have to go back home scratching the head a little bit on that bus ride back to Camelsburg. But no rest for the weary here, Coach, because once the girls sectional clears this week, hopefully the Lady Senators can get it done, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on as we wrap up our post-game show. Senators, though, right back to work at home against a very good Doc Nash team. And I say that with two guys that carry the load, but they show what their potential was, especially early in the year, and the Senators have already had struggles against Borden once.
Yeah, you know, anytime you're going to face a Doc Nash team, again, it's a program that's tradition, really heavy traditionally, you know, in the way they play, and he does such a great job fundamentally with his teams. You know, he might be down on any given year, but on any given night, he's got a team that can beat anybody. So as we saw that in the holiday tourney, we need to come out in that next game.
Going to step aside, take a break, and hear from some of those sponsors, and we'll come back to begin our Ace Hardware of Salem post-game show here from the Wolfpack Den at Crawford County High School. Senators fall tonight on the road, 51-49, the final. Be back right after this.
Gymnasium for tonight's game. It's time to introduce the starting lineup, and the crowd is on their feet and they're going wild. And here comes the new players. We've got the premium quarter pounders coming in tonight alongside the chicken classic sandwiches. Playing forward tonight, we have got one-of-a-kind McWrap. Guarding your hunger, it looks like we've got McDouble and McChicken coming in. And starting in the center court tonight will be Big Mac. Look on the sideline, folks. We have Chicken McNuggets cheering tonight alongside those golden delicious fries. Hot and always ready. You'll score points every time you bring the family into Salem McDonald's, right here on Main Street, before or after the game. Don't forget to top off your favorite meal with a cold soft drink, that famous Mickey D sweet tea, or something from their full line of smoothies and McCafe coffee drinks. Order inside from 4 a.m. to 11, or get that one-of-a-kind taste 24 hours at the drive-thru. McDonald's, I'm loving it. Head on down to Eddie Gilstrap Motors in Salem and get your new or used Ford, Ram, Chrysler, Dodge, or Jeep. Stop in the new office at 207 South Main Street right here in Salem for the best deals in the Kentuckiana area. See Steve, Travis, or Neil and give them an idea of what you're looking for. Whether it's new or used, the guys at Eddie Gilstrap Motors will work hard to put you in the ride of your life. Check out the new Ford and Ram trucks, as well as their new crossovers and SUVs. Or if new is not in your budget, the no-pressure guys at Eddie Gilstrap Motors will help you find a certified pre-owned vehicle. Stop in today at Eddie Gilstrap Motors for the best deals in the Kentuckiana area. Call today at 812-883-3481 or check them out online at EddieGilstrapMotors.com. Don't forget the body shop and come see the all-new Detail Center and speak to Brian Fisher about what he can do for all your detailing needs.
Senators lose a heartbreaker here on the road tonight at Crawford County, losing at 51-49, and really in the waning stages just couldn't come up with critical defensive rebounds, Coach, that led to multiple opportunities, not only at the rim to finish, but also at the free throw line.
Yeah, I mean, like we said earlier before we went to break, it came down to the hustle stats. But, you know, overall, looking at stats tonight from inside the arc, Senators were 13 of 31 at 41%. Wolfpack 18 of 34 at 54%, and a lot of their damage just within 5 feet of the rim. The Senators beyond the arc were 4 of 11. only making one more in the second half. Crawford County stayed at 1 of 7, didn't even attempt a three, I believe, in the second half. So overall shooting percentage tonight, 40% for the Senators, 17 of 42. Wolfpack was 19 of 41 at 46. 12 assists to 5 assists for the Senators' favor. 3 blocks to 1 in the Senators' favor. Even on offensive boards at 6. Defensive rebounds, we had 13 to their 16. Total rebounds, they out-rebound us by 3, 22 to 19. 8 turnovers for the Senators, 9 for the Wolfpack again, pretty even on that. But it's the things that maybe weren't going to show up in the stats tonight. It seemed like they beat us a little more on the offensive with the offensive rebounds, but there was a lot of hustle things that don't come up in the stat category tonight that got us.
Let's go ahead and run down the individual scoring as well. Coach brought you those team statistics, so we'll look at the individual scoring first for the victorious Crawford County Wolfpack, now 12-6 on the year, 5-0 in the conference. That moves their home record now to 5-3 on the year here at the Ron Ferguson Gym. They get 3 guys in double figures tonight. 15 for Matt Dearborn, who I thought played exceptionally well, defensively giving them a lift, and also in the rebounding department. 13 from Adam Beasley, who again had a great floor game running the show, and Josh Thomas with some big free throws, went 7 of 8 alone in that fourth quarter, and that's where most of his 11 points come in this contest. Nicholson has 6. Brent Smith started, but was unable to tally, and then from there, glad you got to see me. 3 guys off the bench, Gavin Coleman, Noah Sturgeon, and Cameron Marples all play. Only one able to tally is Coleman, though. Come up with some big scoring opportunities. He has 6 on the night. 51 points total on the board, 12 of 19. Oh, my gosh. Oh, what a fan bus. Fan bus of adults. Whew. Just caught a selfie. 12 of 19 from the free throw line, coach, for 63% after going 3 of 4 for 75% in that first half for the Wolfpack. They again turned it over 9 times, with 7 of those 9 coming in the first half of play. Meanwhile, for the Senators, who now fall to 12-5 on the year, and away from home moved to 6-5 outside the friendly confines. What a night for Michael, 25 points, but unfortunately 19 of those 25 come in that first quarter of play, and they hold him in check, held him scoreless, in fact, in that third quarter, and without a field goal until the fourth period, where he chipped in a couple of more baskets. But 25 on the night for Michael. Noah had 9. Peyton chips in 6, all in the second half of play, including 1 of 1 from the free throw line. Hunter Sanford with 6, a 2-point basket in the second, third, and fourth frames. And then Jackson Byrne chips in 3. Bryce Farmer played, but was unable to tally for the Senators tonight with 49 points in the loss. They shoot 11 of 13 from the free throw line for 84% after going a perfect 9 of 9 in that first 16 minutes of play for a perfect 100%. And again, 8 turnovers, 4 in each half for the Senators. Scoring by quarter went like this: 23-11 after the first stop. Senators way out in front. In fact, they built up a lead as large as 26-11 at one juncture, also courtesy of that 10-0 spurt by Michael to get the scoring going on the night for West Washington. But that second quarter, Crawford comes alive. They outscore the Senators 15-7, including a nice 15-2 run to get themselves back into the ball game. From there, it was just a ping-pong match in that second half. Crawford outscores the Senators 11-6 in a sluggish third quarter for the boys in blue. In that fourth quarter, a little closer, 14-13. Crawford with the edge. That takes us to our 51-49 final. Likely not to get any word from the coaching staff, I'm going to guess, here tonight. So I tell you what, Coach Bowsman and I, we're going to not waste any time. We're going to get out of Dodge on this Thursday night. We'll step aside, take one final break, and hear from Ace Hardware of Salem, our post-game show sponsor. We'll come back, name our player of the night, and have a closing thought right after this.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
I like to sit on the patio and watch the birds.
Cynthia wanted to attract a wider variety of birds. We talked about which types are native to our area, and I pointed out the feed, seeds, and feeders that would work best.
Ace is the place when you want to follow nature's tweets. Hashtag sparrows and warblers.
During February, buy 2 bags of Ace Wild Bird Food at $9.99 each and get another bag free. View current Red Hot Pies at facebook.com/Ace Hardware of Salem.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Back for the final time here at the Ron Ferguson Gym tonight. The Crawford County Wolfpack escape with a 2-point win on their home floor, 51-49. The final. Coach, a game where the Senators started really quickly out of the gate once the scoring and the ice was broken there by Michael on that nice little spurt, but slow and steady won the race tonight. 11-15, 11-14. Crawford just kept chipping away, and for the Senators now, again with that 12-5 mark, they will now look to bounce back against Doc Nash's team and seek a little revenge. And it's big because, you know, this is a game where last year we were coming off of a holiday tourney loss to them, bounced back with a nice win at Borden, and that gave us, I think, a little bit of a boost of confidence going into that sectional final against them last year.
Yeah, I think it was too. You know, what it really what it showed was how we grew from the holiday tourney to the end of the year.
Yeah.
So it'll be important for our guys to remember that. You know, the possibility of a conference title is still there, but the thing to understand is the bigger titles are what's at hand. So if you're going to turn this around into a positive, you turn it around into the fact that you lose this game tonight, but you better not let it happen come sectional time. So,
Sure.
you know, you got to find a teachable moment out of this game, and I believe that's probably where it's at.
Tonight's Ace Hardware of Salem Player of the Night is going to go to our point guard, Michael Sizemore. 25 points on the night. Michael also dished out 1 assist, grabbed 5 rebounds, and had 3 steals in the losing effort here tonight at Crawford County. But congratulations to Michael for being our Ace Hardware Player of the Night. Coach, I'm going to give you the mic for a final thought on what should be a really potentially exciting and momentous occasion for the Lady Senators this weekend. Good chance tomorrow night in semifinal action to go one step closer to bringing home the hardware finally where it belongs to Campbellsburg.
Well, one thing Coach Rawson always told us, seize the moment.
Yep.
And the girls have a couple of moments coming up here, with tomorrow night being the first one, and it's important to seize the opportunity that's in front of them, and they've got a great opportunity, and they just need to understand that there's 2 stages to this, with the first one being tomorrow night. It's important to come out and set a tempo on how you're going to play on Saturday night if you plan to get there. So if you do that, play at a high level tomorrow night, carry that into Saturday night, and play championship caliber basketball. 64 minutes away from a sectional title. It's not been done in 18 years. So the opportunity is great. Hope the fans come out and support them. The support was awesome Tuesday night. We expect the same, and we're ready to go tomorrow night.
Our traveling circus, if you will continue on our whirlwind tour this week. It was at the Doghouse on Tuesday night for their win over the Lady Braves. And then tomorrow night we'll be right back at the Doghouse to take a look at the Lady Senators and the Lady Hornets. That'll be semifinal number 2. First game of the night, an interesting matchup. Crothersville and Orleans, a rematch of a game that was just a 7-point game in the regular season. But we'll see a lot of fans really confident in this Crothersville group. They got a pretty good ball player, a pretty special player that they depend and lean on a lot. She went off for, I think, 30-plus the other night. But that'll be semifinal number 1, semifinal number 2. Somewhere around a 7:30 tip. We'll come on around 7:10 or so with our Lady Senator tip-off pregame show. For that opening tip tomorrow night. Should be a fun one, Coach. I appreciate you coming along for the ride this week.
Thanks. We're excited. We'll be ready to go tomorrow night.
May have to break out a retro 98 sectional shirt if they're able to punch their ticket to Saturday night. May sit and do the bowl game in one of those.
There you go.
Break out the threads. Well, here tonight, Senators fall 51-49. The final, as always, we want to give a final shout out. Thank you to all the sponsors that make this.